Hi guys, today we're going to talk about multiplying fractions and mixed numbers. Now the first really kind of important step is you cannot multiply by a mixed number. You have to change that mixed number to an improper fraction. And if you look here, you have 2 times 3, that's 6. 6 plus 1 is 7, so you have 7 halves. Okay, so there's your improper fraction. Here, you do 4 times 4, which is 16. And then 16 plus 3 is 19. So you have 19 fourths. Now remember that when you multiply here, we're going to multiply our numerators together and our denominators together. All right, so let's move on. So let's look at our first one. This is just straight up fractions. So all you have to do literally is multiply your numerators together. So 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 4 is 8. So the answer is 3/8. Now it's not always that simple because that was pretty easy, right? So I'm going to show you a trick on how you can simplify before you multiply. We call it cross products. So 1 and 3. 1 and 3, you can't simplify them if they were a fraction. You just have to leave them as they are. But 2 and 4 can, because you can divide both of these guys by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. So I'm going to get rid of that and I'm going to rewrite it so I have a new number. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Rewrote it, so I have a new number. Now I'm going to multiply. 1 times 1 is 1. And 2 times 3 is 6. So the answer is 1/6. Okay, so sometimes you can't do it, sometimes you can do it. Now let's look at the next one. Can we do cross products? Actually, I forgot. Sometimes people call it discoing. It's just an easier way, kind of keeps you from getting messed up. So we like to call it discoing, because if you remember the dance from the 80s, it's going up and down across your body. But that's kind of what's happening here. You can divide both of these by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. And then 9 divided by 3 is 3. You can also do 4 and 10, because you can divide both of those by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So now we can multiply. So 1 times 2 is 2. 5 times 3 is 15. Now, you can see sometimes we won't do it. Sometimes we can only do it one way. Sometimes everybody can do it. It just kind of depends on your numbers you're given. Now, you can only multiply fractions. And if you look, 24 is a whole number. Well, to make him a fraction, all you have to do is put a 1 underneath of it. That's it. So 1 and 2 can't be discoed. They can't simplify any smaller. But 3 and 24 can, because we can divide both of those by 3. So 24 divided by 3 is 8. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So now 8 times 2 is 16, and 16 over 1 is the same thing as 16. It's a whole number. Alrighty, so let's move down to making our mixed numbers into improper fractions. Now this fraction 1/3 just comes down, it's 1/3. But here we have to multiply, so 4 times 3 is 12. Plus 3 more is 15. So you have 15 fourths. Can we disco? We sure can. Divide both of these by 3. So 3 is 1. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So now we're going to multiply straight across. So 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 4 is 4. You have an improper fraction, so we have to make it a mixed number. So you're going to have to do your little division. So that's going to go 1 and 1/4. All right, let's look at the next one. Make them improper. So that's 10 plus 2 is 12, so that's 12 fifths. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 7 is 15, so 15 eighths. Can you just go? Yes. We can divide both of these by 5. So now that's a 1 and that's a 3. And we can divide 12 and 8 by 4. So we have 3 and 2. So now multiply together. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 2 is 2. And when you simplify, it's 4 1/2. All right, well, 3 fifths we can't do anything with, so we're just going to bring him down. And then we need to make him improper. So 3 times 6 is 18, plus 1 is 19/6. Again, notice how the denominator has been staying the same the whole entire time. That doesn't ever change. So we can divide both of these by 3, not 2, sorry, 3. So 3 becomes a 1, and the 6 becomes a 2. So now you have 1 times 19 is 19, and 5 times 2 is 10. Simplify, so that's 1 9/10. All right, and the last one. Oops, sorry. Make them improper fractions. So 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 3 is 15, so you have 15 fourths. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14 fifths. Now I put a little dot there. Remember, it means to multiply. Can we just go? You bet. We can divide both of these by 5. So there's 1, and there's a 3. And then 4 and 14. Well, you can divide both of those by 2. So now multiply. 3 times 7 is 21. 2 times 1 is 2. So you have an improper fraction. 2 will go into 21 10 times. So that's 10 1/2. And that is multiplying fractions and mixed numbers.